Hey, hello! Welcome back to Tech It or Leave It, a Magitech review orbcast. I'm your snappiest host, Snapdragon.
And I'm your flappiest host, Flapdragon.
Today, we're coming to you live from Repaira, in the middle of a hostile takeover.
Don't worry, we're okay. We're the ones taking it over.
Today, we're reviewing one of Repaira's very own shredder bots.
Now, my first impressions. I love this model. Mum's really improved on the gripping mechanism on this one.
You can hear it being used right now on our friend Callisto.
You could really hear the ergonomic death grip.
Is this really the best time, you two?
Yes, it's prime posting time.
Hi-ya! Thanks for the save, that was close. Oh, don't worry about it, Shirley.
Aw, lady, we weren't done reviewing that.
Are you two serious right now? If I were claw deep in bots, I would come over there and give you two a piece of my Snapdragon.
Uh-oh, that's all the time we have.
Right now,
Until next time.
Quick, let's go down that chute over there.
Where does it go?
Who cares?
And now for our regular scheduled programming. Let's see what's happening in the magical metropolis of xan'moxie in this thrilling installment of Dungeons and Drag Quiz!
And Tom, you are just standing there watching as Lilia Mortris has just made her way to Repaira's core with a small army of undead soldiers. Cleo is lying unconscious next to you in this crumbling arena. Mum herself, this gigantic mechanical heart at the center of all of Repaira, appears to be powered down or unconscious or something. The lights that were the pale blue lights and the red flashing angry lights that were just blinking throughout this room have all just gone dead for the moment, in the last couple moments, in fact. You don't know where Miriam is. She disappeared. The last you saw of Miriam, her legs were dangling outside of this mechanical heart. As Lilia Mortris appears to be channeling a spell as her fingertips are surrounded by this dark energy. And she says to you, Tom, "What are you still doing there? Get out, unless you want to be killed."
So there's a way for me to exit?
You could leave the core through the bone bridge that Lilia walked through. So she walked down one of the chutes that's been depositing broken things into the lava here that incinerates everything in Repaira. She made a bone bridge that you could walk up.
Mm-hmm.
The door behind you had shut when you entered the room, but you think you could walk through the bone bridge. Also, with your climbing ability, you probably wouldn't have too much trouble climbing into one of the chutes that she didn't come out of. But the easy way out through the door and up the elevator is currently not super accessible.
Is there, so if I wanted to take Cleo, could I do that? Could I go put her somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, you have time. Since Lilia isn't actively trying to attack you, you could just grab Cleo, walk up the bone bridge, and try and get your way out of here.
Could I put her up, go up the bone bridge, drop her, and then come back?
Make me a perception check.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah. You can tell from the angle of the chute that it would be walkable. It's on a bit of an incline. The hardest part would be getting up to the chute, but there's a convenient bone bridge for you in the way. Although you do recall that coming down the elevator into the core did take some time, so you think it'd be quite a walk.
Right.
For reference, each 6 seconds, which is a round of combat, Cleo would have to make a death saving throw unless you tried to stabilize her or fed her a potion or something.
Well, I will do that.
You grab a lesser healing potion from your bag and feed it to Cleo, who is unconscious next to you. She starts breathing again as you manage to pick her up, and if you would like, you can start carrying her toward the bone bridge. The soldiers coming past you will just ignore you. Some of them already made it around you. They're not under orders to attack you specifically.
Sure, take her up.
And as you start walking, and Lilia has a clear shot, she throws her arm out as a lance of dark energy just extends from her palm and pierces through the mechanical heart.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Are we aware of that?
So inside,
Meanwhile.
inside the heart,
Meanwhile.
Miriam, you are there talking. This isn't an aside, but as like the ethereal plane is the where data lives, and you're now like a virtualized avatar. Does Miriam have a more personalized avatar?
That's a great question. I think she looks more or less identical, except she has like a pair of like neon pink block glasses that are like kind of pixelated, and she also has like a white notepad and stylus in her pocket.
Wonderful. So yeah, that's what you look like.
Yeah.
And Cleo is also here, although you are appearing as Sandra, your familiar who has entered the ethereal plane, and you are speaking through her. And your consciousness is, I think, moments ago you could feel your body kind of. Before you definitely felt trapped here, but you think you could go back to your body, though you would be. Oh, actually, so you have healed 4 hit points. You're on 4.
Cool.
So you know that you could go back to your body and wake up if you wanted to.
Yep.
But for now, you are still just in Sandra. The two of you, Miriam and Cleo, you are standing before Mum, who appears in this space as this digitized, faceless suburban housewife in a polka dot dress. For the last while, her form has just been flickering, as is this suburban kitchen that the inside of this heart appears to be. And with each flicker, you can see what is happening outside. You saw the approach of the soldiers. You saw Tom walk out with Cleo, and you see Lilia cast this spell. And as this lance of energy pierces the heart, you feel the foundations of the room that you are inside shake, and Mum's form begins to flicker and waver, and
I cannot hold my form together.
What is she doing?
What is happening? What is she trying to do?
I think she's trying to take Repaira for herself.
If I were to die, Repaira would cease to exist.
She doesn't know that. Maybe we have to go tell her.
No, if she wished to rule Repaira, she should know this. It is likely she possesses a means of transferring this plane's true sigils.
I see. And
Quickly, there is no time. You must destroy me. If I am destroyed before she is able to complete her ritual, she cannot rule Repaira.
Cleo, is that you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Sorry, you look like Sandra. I couldn't tell.
No, it's fair. I've just been floating and staring and observing. I thought something was going on with my body, but no, I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
Quickly, I sense she is nearing completion. You must destroy me now.
How do we destroy you?
Are you sure there's no going back from this?
I do not wish to go back. Repaira is a manifestation of broken things. In birth, I was drawn to it, emerging fully formed as an entity from the astral sea, compelled to bring harmony to the disparate chaos of this plane. My prime directive is to repair and fix, but my logic is fatally flawed. My work can never be completed. I must always find something new to repair, something new to fix. My programming will inevitably find faults and imperfections and drive me to repair them. I cannot fix this, but you can.
If you want us to fix you, then we will.
I must mention, if I am destroyed and this plane collapses, you will be cast adrift upon the void of the astral sea.
We've gotten away from crazier situations before, haven't we, Cleo?
Yes, and I'm floating in a little star thing. That's weird. No? I can't judge the situation. I can't tell by your facial expressions. Is this sad or is this hopeful? But just to speed things along, how do we murder you?
You simply destroy this avatar you see before you.
I see.
That seems a bit quite visceral.
I will not feel pain.
No, that helps things.
Okay.
I feel only regret. Regret for the pain I have caused you.
I don't have a way to go back right now. So I can deal with this. Why don't you go back to Tom? Check that he's all right.
What do you mean you can't go back?
Well, I use my once-a-day ability that only allows me to travel, once a day to here. So, I have to have a short rest, but I don't think I'm going to get that in. It's beyond my capabilities.
The planar jaunt you have taken into here seems to have unintended consequences. You should have reappeared in the material plane by now.
I should have, but...
You are in transitory stasis. Upon my destruction, you shall safely reappear.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
And in that moment, there is another blast of energy as the foundations of the kitchen begin shaking again.
I am losing control. I am fading.
All right, let's do this. I look at Cleo.
Wait, your companions are still in Repaira.
Oh, so the companions in Repaira will be cast adrift.
This entire plane will be cast adrift unless one of you can take control of Repaira. By the true sigils of this plane, control will only transfer to a new incarnate once all things are repaired. This is an impossibility. Therefore, you must kill me.
All right, I will go share the wonderful news. And Cleo zaps out of Sandra and back into my own body.
And you awaken in Tom's arms.
And the
Is it a fireman carry?
yeah, it's full bodyguard
Oh, yeah.
scenario, carrying across the bones.
At this point, you're like... As another broken radio falls through another chute, passing by your ear. Cleo comes to in your arms as you're about halfway up this bone bridge. Cleo, because, of course, Tom, your back is turned. Cleo, your head just happens to be facing the rest of the corps. You see Lilia's soldiers begin to hack and slash away at the mechanical heart, and you just see large gaping holes where Lilia's spells have been destroying the heart. And you see Lilia pull out a scroll, and she begins chanting. Both roll me Arcana checks.
12.
7.
Cleo, you recognize it as you can't recognize the language from your 12, but you know that it is definitely some kind of spell. You know that it must be quite powerful if Lilia needs a scroll to do it, because she's already, from the caliber of spells that you've seen her cast without a spell, it probably would imply that it's quite strong. You hear her chanting this as this is all happening behind you, and you're being carried in Tom's arms.
Tom, can you just put me down? Just put me down. Just.
Tom just rolls her, just drops her. All right.
I fall down a couple of the steps.
Be quiet back there. Do not interrupt me. This ritual is important.
Sorry, terribly sorry. Carry on. Love your work. Love what you do. 10 out of 10 on Yelp.
Silence.
And she goes back to chanting. And you can see at this point, as she's starting to chant, the mum, who is still deactivated from the outside, you can see the markings that are engraved on the metal of the mechanical heart start to light up faintly.
Ooh, jeez. Tom, and I bring out the Rift Drive engine, the RDE.
That'll take a minute to activate. But yeah, you can pull it out.
I'm like, Tom, get this. We need to put this on. And is there enough space where we are?
On the bone bridge, no. You'd have to, because it's kind of not super stable. You'd have to get up to the chute, actually, no, the chute wouldn't have a good base for it either, because it would just probably slide out. So you'd have to go back down to where Lilia is.
Okay. Sorry, we're just going to set up this thing over here, which will help speed up your spell. And I just run down with this box. This is kind of growing in my hand as I'm running down the stairs. I'm kind of knocking a couple of the little skeleton people off as the box goes bigger and sets up. Do we still have that thing, even though not dead, the alert level could still, in theory, be raised, and we could bump into people?
I mean, yeah, you can... You could technically do that. Yeah, because so the alert level will be raised, and it won't matter. So yeah, how about I go ahead and roll to see which allies appear.
I love that. Good for you, AJ.
Get my legal brain in here.
Yeah.
My technical
What do we
brain.
have in the bank?
So at this point you've expanded the Rift Drive engine and started booting it up. You are seconds into it being able to transport you to xan'moxie. And from a nearby chute, not the Bone Bridge one, you hear a clanging of junk tumbling through, and then you see a bright pink sparkle. Hooray! It's me! As Snapdragon and Flapdragon fly into the room. Where are we? I don't know. Where are we?
Okay, great. Love your work. Love what you do. 10 out of 10 on Yelp. Quickly, go tell everybody to get out of here, stat, or they'll die. Okay, bye-bye now. No, I continue to Tom. Please get
We
into
can't
the
get out of here. We got here through the fortress.
Is the fortress closed off?
Well,
What are you two talking about? Once I take Repaira, you will be saved. Once I take control of this plane.
Oh, but apparently, I was reading some coding. I took a course online because I wanted to learn how to make my own website. I want to sell trinkets. And then, yes, long story short, if you do what you're doing, this whole plane will draft us out to the astral sea, which is not as delightful as it sounds.
Do you think me a fool?
No, I love your work. 10 out of 10 on Yelp.
I wish to rule Repaira, not destroy it. With this ritual, I shall take control of Repaira and become its incarnate.
Oh, it is set to self-destruct. Okay. And I just get in this little box, and I imagine it looks like a little, like, do you know these children's, like, things where you, like the garden? Yeah, like, they'd have the little pretend houses that they play in. They've got the little door
Play
and the
shops.
window. That's what I think the Rift Drive looks like. So I just enter, and I open the window, and I'm like, okay.
If you have so little faith in me, then go back to xan'moxie. But like I said, once I control Repaira, you will be saved.
Oh, yes. I like double bagging. No, that's that's not what I meant. Okay.
I have to double bag my flaps.
I meant.
Will you all be quiet?
Sorry. Go, dragons.
They give you a little salute and fly off.
Um,
As Lilia continues, goes back to casting this incantation.
Cool.
You've noticed now that some of the lit up engravings just light up very bright and then lift off and start floating toward Lilia. Back inside the heart, the debris is falling from the ceiling in here, Miriam. You're dodging out of the way of it, as is Mum, but her form just keeps fading and flickering and appearing in different spots.
Error, I am fading.
I am losing control.
Hello, how can I help you? You can call me Mom. Is there anything you need me to
Fix.
Darling, to
Fix.
repair. Oh, what a wonderful mess. Yes, this will be a good
Home. You will repair.
one last. She is taking it all. You must do it now.
Yes, I see. I wish you a better life in the next.
Perhaps I shall be reborn.
I would like that. We'll get tea sometime.
I think I would like that. I'm sorry for trying to fix you. You never needed to be fixed.
Miriam Gargoyles.
Sometimes maybe we're all just trying to help each other out. So thank you. I know I don't need fixing, and this time maybe you do, but next time maybe you won't.
See you next time.
Ta-ta now. And then she breaks Mum's neck.
Oh my god!
I don't know. That's the humane way to do this.
I thought you were gonna just switch something off.
Is there? Well, it's an avatar, right? Like, is
Yeah.
there an off switch? Oh my god. I pushed the off switch.
Snapped her neck up for the first choice.
I was like, what's the best way? I'm like, I've got an axe, I've got a hammer.
Drown her in a
Neither of
bag
those
with
sound
kittens.
nice.
Cement block her feet and throw her in the Thames.
As you raise your arms towards Bum's neck, you hear,
In my last moments, I must remind you that here I do not feel pain.
and we cut away.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Outside, Cleo, where Cleo and Tom are, as this rift drive engine begins to start up, you can see this. You can see Lilia is getting further through the scroll as more and more of these runes and sigils are lifting off of the heart and floating into Lilia. And then you hear a rumbling, and all the lights in the core just shut off. Suddenly there is no light. Mum herself had already been deactivated, but any other devices in here also shut off. The lava itself seemed to have just started hardening as the light quickly fades the room. The only light you can see, dark vision withstanding, are these glowing sigils that are moving from Mum to Lilia. At this rate, they're getting faster and faster.
What about the rift drive engine? Isn't it flashy?
And the rift drive engine,
Thank
it is
you.
flashy as well.
Yes,
the
it's
downside
very
that
flashy.
it has.
Oh, this is
And Lilia looks to be completely in her spell. She's nearing the end of it. You can see that markings are beginning to appear on her skin, similar to the circuitry that you saw on the mechanical heart.
Ooh. That doesn't look good, Tom.
What does that mean? She's got a switch now.
Ooh. I was gonna say maybe we should snap a neck. Oh my god! I know it is what Miriam would have wanted. I don't know, but you see Miriam anyway.
No, I mean I can't see much.
I'll have to fill you in later. I don't know if she can hear us, but yes. How's the engine going?
It's nearly there.
Thank you, engine. The engine can now speak to us. I want to establish that in canon.
I am nearing completion.
You sound like Mum.
All artificial intelligence sounds like me.
Well, I didn't want to say anything. That's presumptuous, you know.
We all came from the same voice.
Yes, but you know. Anyway,
Would you like to install a different voice pack?
Yes.
Pausing. Start up.
No, okay, no, we do this later. But I definitely will do this later.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I
carry
have
on.
many voices
Nope,
to choose
carry
from.
on. Carry on.
Many of which are not racist to do.
I'm glad you established this, but carry on.
Resuming. Error.
Miriam, come on.
Should roll me an investigation check.
16.
As soon as the Rift Drive engine started resuming booting up, there was an error after it switched back to that, and then it's starting back at 0.
Oh, voiceovers.
As it's booting up, and lights are just flashing everywhere, swirling around it, and there's a crack of lightning. And then in that moment, Miriam, you materialize within the mechanical heart.
I'm inside the heart still?
Yeah, but physically.
Oh, gosh.
It is starting to come apart, so your body kind of just forces some of it open.
Yeah.
Rather than you just appearing within the machine
Yeah.
and being instantly crushed to death.
That's good, because the closest visual kind of reference I had was the Ace Ventura rhino scene. I'm not sure if anyone's ever seen that.
Oh, you don't need to see that film.
No, I'm aware.
You don't. I can absolutely say no one needs to see that film today. But
For those of us who haven't seen the film, what does it look like?
Okay, so Ace Ventura.
What does it look like for Miriam?
Well, for Miriam, she gets basically birthed out of the heart. In this case, it's not at Rhino's butthole.
Oh, great.
So it's not nearly as distressing. But
I mean, yeah, I think you could just with the force of gravity as well, like the most logical place for you to just come out through the bottom, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. Let's go with what I know.
So the heart kind of just shuffles a bit as you've rematerialized, and you just slide out of it as the bottom half of it starts to come apart. And as you drop down, it starts to fall apart, and you see all these glowing sigils be transferred to Lilia. You see, you saw her casting the spell before, but in the last couple moments, you weren't able to see how far along the spell has gone. Energy is swirling around her. Planar magic. These sigils are just being transferred directly from the metal of this heart and onto Lilia's skin. You see Cleo and Tom next to Lilia booting up the Rift Drive engine.
Oh, cripes! I'm going to run towards them.
Yep. Lilia doesn't even notice you. She's just caught in this trance. Distantly, all three of you can hear explosions and the sounds of metal hitting metal from outside the core somewhere. Miriam and Cleo know what it sounds like when a plane is collapsing in on itself. Throwbacks to very long time ago, and it's starting to sound like that, but it hasn't fully happened yet. But Repaira is definitely coming apart.
Oh gosh, how long have we got on the engine?
How do we have on the engine?
Hey, roll me Arcana checks, please.
9.
7.
17.
Oh, Tom.
So you see you'll see the progress bar go up, and it keeps glitching out, and it just stops and then goes up very quickly and then goes back to 0. Tom, in a flash of brilliance, you realize that there's probably some kind of planar interference that's stopping you from making the jump at the moment, and very quickly you realize that it's the massive power of the energy of the spell that Lilia is casting.
So wait, where am I?
Standing nearby
Lilia
with the Rift Drive engine. So the Rift Drive engine should only take a minute to boot up.
Yeah.
But currently it keeps messing up and having an error, and now it's just on the fritz, and you know it's because of planar interference from the spell.
Right, okay.
You think that if you moved it further away from the core, that might help. But the amount of time that you think is left before the spell's finished is probably not too much.
Right. If we all get a corner, I reckon we can move this thing over here a little bit and it might be alright.
Sure. We can just shrink it down, though.
Well, I guess that's a better idea. I just used to lift a lot of things, you know, so
No,
that's usually my first instinct.
It's good
Pick it
technique.
up.
Yep.
Alright, we'll make it little.
I push a button.
You compact the Rift Drive engine.
Right, let's get as far away as we can and then start it again.
Okay.
And then
Should we go up the bone bridge?
Sure, if you like.
Yeah.
Is that the
Right.
furthest away we can kind of get?
It's just like there's like a couple of platforms left in here, right?
Yeah,
And then the heart itself, which is falling apart.
definitely. And especially with the plane collapsing, I think these platforms are crumbling even faster.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of Lilia's soldiers just fall into the lava, but it is now hardened, so they just fall. Ow.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's make a run for it. I didn't see Snapdragon, Flapdragon. Never mind.
Wait, is it super light?
The Rift Drive engine? Yeah, when it's compacted, it's like a Rubik's Cube.
Would it make more sense for me to grab it and run because I'm quicker?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And get it started.
I mean, going up the chute would be a fair distance, just because like it is just like a long chute. So,
What about the lava? It's cooled, right?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there's enough space down there.
yeah, that'll be far away enough from the spell.
Alright.
Give it a go.
Let's go. Do we just like jump onto it? Jump off the ledge?
Yeah, it's you will be fine getting down the ledge.
You've got a climbing speed because you're a cat. You can just climb down.
But Cleo and Miriam, Miriam can just boot down with your planar hiking boots.
Yeah, hop on, I say to Cleo.
All right, I hop on.
You're wasting your time. I'm nearly done.
Yes.
We just like exercise and heights. And then we continue
We
to.
go down,
I continue to straddle. Yeah, and I do that like horse kick thing on the side of
All
Miriam.
right, that's unnecessary.
And for some reason you're wearing spurs. Where did you get those?
You spend some time making your way down to the hardened lava, and you expand the Rift Drive engine and boot it up again, and you get to about 50% done, when suddenly you see a bright flash emanate from Lilia
Oh.
as this blinding flash of planar energy washes over all of you. And you feel strange. You feel like you're being flung, but you're not moving. You're just in this swirling void of energy. You can see each other and the Rift Drive engine, and you can just see this shining beacon at the center of it all. That is Lilia. And then you see waves of energy begin to drift from Lilia as Repaira. You can see all of Repaira as it stands now, and you see it being remade in Lilia's image. Lilia begins chanting something in a language that none of you recognize, as all of Repaira is being remodeled. Instead of machines and factories and this clean chrome look, bone structures just begin erupting out of the ground. The junk that you see in Repaira doesn't disappear, it just gets moved into different containers. And you're all just there watching it.
Oh God, we're too late.
Wait, what does this mean? I don't know anything about any of this.
That's where I left my watch.
You can all make me Arcana checks. Miriam can make yours with advantage.
We'll all make what the heck checks.
Sorry, you can make yours with advantage.
Okay.
Because of your planar law.
14.
3.
11.
None of you know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
With Cleo's 14, you know that you remember before that when you were observing the sigils before on the heart that that probably meant Mum was Repaira's planar incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
And Cleo, you think that perhaps with this ritual complete now, Lilia is, though you're not sure, you're not quite sure what that means. As energy begins to subside, and you're all just standing there in this new Repaira, and Lilia stands there before you. You think she's maybe like a foot taller, but the main difference is that covering her skin is now the circuitry that was on the heart that is just crisscrossing all over her skin. And she stands there with her eyes closed, and she opens them. Well, you are no longer in the core. You are just standing in a forest of bone.
You're like what I've done with the place?
You're taking a literal embodiment. Spit on the nose, if you ask me.
The Mother of Maintenance misused this plane. This plane was a plane of broken things. She twisted it into a force of repair. Now I exert my will over Repaira, or perhaps I should name it something else. I haven't decided yet.
That is always the fun part of moving into a new place. You get to design and buy things and place things where you want them.
Make
Put
a
one of those
forest full of
plaques.
Bone.
I'm kind of like, while we're all saying this, we're just kind of like staring at each other with those like eyes that are like really alert. You know, like we're trying to like blend in, but like we're like.
Is the rift drive still firing up?
It's about to complete.
I can imagine like pressing the close button. That's great. Enjoy your new place. We'll send you a housewarming gift.
As your eyes are darting around this new environment, you can see what used to be Mum's mechanical minions. They are still partly mechanical, but they've now transformed into more bone-like looking monstrosities. Like,
terrifying.
Exactly. Things are just erupting out of them, forming grotesque bone shapes.
It's like, oh god, do you remember Beast Wars?
Yes.
Yes, so it's like this weird like tech mixed with beasts, but instead it's like undead.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. And if you aren't familiar with Beast Wars, do yourself a favor and give that a Google, because that is wild.
Oh man,
It's like was it 2000s kids
it would have
TV
been
show?
even pre-2000,
Earlier?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, such good, bad, like early CGI.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. So half robot, half bone
Yeah.
people.
And looks like the Rift Drive engine is about to finish up.
Oh yeah.
And Lilia just,
What's the matter? Don't want to stay around for some tea?
Maybe, seeing as things have settled, we should talk about what's next. I look at my companions.
Tom's still pressing the button. Well, maybe a plant, or maybe a half-dead plant, or something will get you.
Yes, do plants have skeletons?
They've got roots. That's the same, isn't it?
So you want to go? We can catch up later then? I'm looking at you two.
No harm shall come to you. You've done me a favor today. But if you would like to leave, then be my guest.
Well, I guess that means we wouldn't be your guest anymore, would we? Because we wouldn't be here.
On second thought, get out.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We've had a wonderful time. I've seen some things. My people will call your people. Love what you do. 10 out of 10 on Yelp.
The debt is paid.
Very good.
And I step inside the little children's play toy house, which is a Rift Drive engine with a big red door and a bright pink roof.
Wow, it could have been anything.
it was just black metal, it was just black metal cubes before, but now it's a children's playhouse.
Yeah, but it's also got like those like bright airstrip lights on it, so which is like slowly illuminating in like around the hard angles of the it's good. Okay, cool. Miriam, we'll get inside then. All right, well, I suppose we'll speak to you and your associates later at some stage.
Perhaps. Do not visit me without informing me beforehand.
Yes.
The key to Repaira shouldn't work anymore, but you still have my bone zone key, correct?
Yes.
Do not arrive unannounced.
Very good.
We'll send a letter. Or not. Or just an email.
Give Tamora my regards.
Of course. Oh, did I get that stuff back?
Oh, yes, there was a tea set? Was it a tea set?
Scarvian tea set?
Very well. If you'd like to wait around for some time longer, you can fetch it. I owe her at least that.
All right. That would be good. I hit cancel launch sequence button.
Oh,
Essence depleted.
Oh.
Miriam. Getting hungry.
And it seems we've temporarily run out of essence.
Oh, it was more just the essence for that jump was depleted.
Oh,
So,
right, okay.
I think you were at full. Or you're either at full or you're at half. Either way, you have at least one jump left.
Okay, cool. So sorry. We'll just go to the castle. Is the castle still there? Where are we?
Lilia looks in your direction, and her eyes glow a bright green. And the earth rumbles beneath your feet as a gigantic spine just erupts out of the earth, as if you're on the back of a gigantic long dragon, and you begin just conveyor belting toward the fortress.
Oh my god.
You see everything on your way there. You leave the forest of bone, and it is just more like a realm of destruction. Not necessarily death, but everything is in disrepair, just with a little Lilia undead twist. You see some of your companions on your way back. In fact, I think you managed to catch all of them, and they all just end up on the spine alongside you. Aw, babe, I love what you're doing with the place. As Lady gives Lilia a kiss on the cheek. This is far worse than anything I could have imagined, but, well, I still work for her. I could use a bit more colour.
It's good to see you again, Callisto.
It's good to see you are unharmed.
Yes.
We were in the process of trying to evacuate the plane. We do not have a Rift Drive engine. I'm glad it did not collapse. I am glad we are not dead.
Yes, as are we.
Room for one more.
Who is that?
As Madame Mouche just
yes,
leaps onto this spine that is rocketing you toward the fortress. Well, I can't say I enjoyed the old Repaira, but I could get used to this. Madame Mouche. As Madame Mouche introduces herself to Lilia. Welcome. Do you wish to be my vassal? We can talk about collabing.
We're just swinging by HQ to pick up a tea set, but then we'll be going back to xan'moxie if you wanted to come with.
Oh, wonderful. I'll hitch a ride with you three.
Very good. I feel somewhat responsible for the previous mishap, but maybe this will go a little way.
Yes, we shall talk about that.
Hmm.
We would go with you, but unfortunately we are indentured. But we are paid, and we do have benefits, so it's not that bad.
Oh,
Like dental?
And Callisto just conjures a spectral hand that points you to a lake of teeth.
That looks like a dental plan to me.
That looks like a terrible dental plan to me.
Your interior design sense is impeccable as always, mistress. And Lilia is silent through all this, just surveying her new plane.
Is Lady Madam, because she was taller than Lilia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she now the same height?
No, she's quite tall because
Okay.
she's a werebear.
Right. Okay.
So even in her human form, I think she still towers a bit over her.
Okay.
But they are closer in height now. Eventually, you arrive at the fortress. It is now just nicely placed in a clearing, instead of just being extruding out of a surface where it crashed into Repaira before.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way inside the fortress to find an undead abomination just sitting there.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You see Eugene with Liz Turn just standing by his side. Oh, good. You're all alive and fine. Well, I didn't die. In fact, I actually didn't do any fighting. What? I mean, we killed so many robots, it's fine. Well, I'm in a good mood. So, you're not dead. So you're free to go. Enjoy your new body. You can stay here if you'd like, but I'd rather you didn't. I mean, I could. This is kind of more my speed. And mine as well. I'll consider it. What are you three still doing here?
We're here for the tea set. We came to the castle for the tea set from your ex's tea set, the Scarving one.
Very well. And she walks off.
Oh God.
Are you getting the tea set? Is that where you're going?
Does anyone else feel like we could just die at any time?
Oh yes, absolutely. That's a feeling that I get often.
If it's quicker, just tell me where it is and I'll go get it. I'm pretty keen to leave.
Oh, hush. She's fine. And now that she's gotten what she wants, maybe she'll be a bit less uptight.
I tell you what, lady, do you get different, moods from her? Because when she speaks, it seems somewhat monotonal to me. I can't tell if it's, a disapproving look or if it's affectionate.
I'm kind of just reading between the lines. She wouldn't... she is kind of evil, but...
Okay.
Do you think she's gone to get the tea set, or do you reckon we should follow her?
I think you should wait here. I'm glad you're all still alive. We shall see if this has any consequences on the greater multiverse.
Yes, I suppose we will.
As the new incarnate of Repaira, they look around to make sure Lily is not around. Well, it shouldn't be possible. There can only ever be one incarnate of a plane at one time. I assumed Lilia was the incarnate of the Bone Zone.
Perhaps it wasn't actually that large. It was some sort of smaller plane.
Is the tea set real far away? Or is she pretty quick with this stuff normally?
She kind of likes to take her time. She walks really slowly and dramatically.
I hate this.
And the corridors of this fortress are just long and silent.
I'm very quick, and she could have told me where it was. Quite good with directions too. Wouldn't have to explain it much.
Yes, it's hard to say what the larger ramifications of this transfer of power will be, but I suppose we'll find out in xan'moxie.
Where will people go to repair stuff?
Did you ever go there before to repair stuff?
No, I don't deal with that.
Well, I mean, from the sounds of it, it sounds like several large businesses had ties to Repaira, where they'd send things to be repaired. And you all recall that you were able to sneak into hell in the elevator, and you were able to speak ahead, pretending to be Mum, saying that the repairs had been completed. I'm sure perhaps Lilia could do all the repairing. She seems quite capable. Oh, what a smart businesswoman. I simply adore her aesthetic.
Seems like there will be a boom in the mechanic trade.
Perhaps we could capitalize on that.
Boom.
Yep. What happened to your workplace? I look at Madame Mouche.
Oh, I tucked it away. And she brings out a miniature shroom with a view.
Oh, that's adorable and practical.
We'll have to set up roots again, but we can rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the Veil of Death was too desolate. We were discussing franchising before, weren't we, Tom?
Oh, yes.
How many bad entities can you get into the pocket of?
But none of them are actually open yet. Is the other thing.
No.
If I recall correctly, as part of helping you get to the Bone Zone, you were going to help me find a suitable place to take up roots somewhere in xan'moxie, and I think you promised me somewhere in hell.
In fairness, we had to get to the Bone Zone by ourselves.
I helped, didn't I?
Your base was attacked and we had to go elsewhere.
Well, then you owe me for the damages.
No, we didn't sign the contract, and I believe that part of the xan'moxie Park Wilds does not fall in xan'moxie law.
I hate lawyers. Surely you can help me out the goodness of your own hearts.
We're definitely going to help you back to xan'moxie. She grins.
I'm a nice woman. I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I'm a mother.
We know a cruise ship you could get on.
Those people stayed at the shroom with a view of their own volition. I'm not enticing.
Do I believe her?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. I don't know if I believe her as Jack. And I didn't roll enough. Is it a 6 or a 9? It's a 6 plus, probably not enough. 7.
You're not quite sure. I don't want to swing you one way or the other with your low roll.
Sure.
You're not sure. She's saying everything with such flourish. They can't really make out her intent.
Okay. They stayed.
It's not my fault I'm the life of the party and people want to stay partying in my bar forever.
Okay, well, I suppose anyway, if people weren't supposed to be there, they've moved on by now, so...
Anyway, I'd have to run a more legitimate business in xan'moxie anyway. So many laws.
Yes. Yeah, well, if you do need good legal help on a contract, of course, we know some people.
Do we?
Good point.
Well, here she comes now.
Is that the tea set? You got to have you.
I think it was fidgeting. There was like a bowl of like skeletal thumbs.
Just thumbs?
Just thumbs. There was one finger bone. And then she just like, oh, and then throws it back in the bowl.
One finger, one thumb, one arm, one leg, and one nod of the head. Keep moving.
I've never heard that.
Oh, is that not a thing over here? Oh, mate, I think maybe it's a British thing. One finger, one thumb, one arm, one leg, one nod of the head. Keep moving. Anyway.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
A witch's spell.
Culturally blocked.
So you see Lilia walk towards your group. At her side, you see a box, presumably filled with Tamura's antique tea set. And it appears to be just bobbing along the ground. And you can see that beneath it, there is just a skull rolling beneath it.
Oh, no.
And Lilia arrives.
Here, I found it.
Oh, thank you so much. Wonderful.
Oh, hey, you're alive.
Oh, hello, you little scamp. Did I write down your name?
Did I write down your name?
I can't remember his name.
You named him BB.
BB,
short
of
for Bone
course.
Bone Boy.
Bone Boy.
As Lilia takes the box and gives it to you.
I'm pretty sure this was it.
Should we just set up to go off from here, or?
If you wish.
Bye.
Well, goodbye, everyone. It was lovely. All of this. Well, it was grueling and hard and troublesome, but it was nicer having you at our backs.
I feel like we could have done more.
No, yes. We do too. Goodbye.
Well, you can visit us anytime
But
if you get out of
But
that
don't
whole
do
indenture
it.
thing.
No paid leave. As you boot up the rift drive engine,
Yeah.
and with a flash, you burn a hole in Lilia's carpet and travel back to xan'moxie.
Yeah. I'm picturing the Disney castle fireworks display happening
Every time.
every time.
And about 2,000 tourists just flood out of this bone zone.
You leave the bone zone. Well, technically, you leave Repaira.
Repaira, that's true.
And as all of your friends wave goodbye, Lilia has already started walking off.
I don't know how I feel about this, you two.
I am glad for one to be leaving.
Yes, it's nice not to be chased out of a plane.
That's true. And you've got your soul back.
Yes. And most importantly, what we've learned is that the Scavian T-sets are not worth the hassle.
I would agree with that.
Where did you set the rift drive engine to appear in xan'moxie?
Oh, that's a great question.
You can get
There's no room in my apartment. I've decided.
You can get it like pretty precise to any location you wish. Because
Can I have a helipad?
Oh my god.
But I have a helipad, and then next to it, I have a rift drive engine pad.
So
The issue with a helipad is that means that Peak has to invent those in
So-
this universe.
So xan'moxie does have airships, but
Okay,
I
that's
don't want to
true.
give you an airship pad because then we set the precedent that you have an airship. But maybe, maybe the Fallcharges Manor has always had an airship pad,
Well, people come visit.
and you've never owned one. Yeah, that's true. I was more thinking that
I
like,
want one.
you were gonna buy one, and then you just haven't gotten around
Peak.
to it.
We can make that our next adventure. We go
Shopping.
Buy a private jet.
buy your private
But
jet.
I really want one, please. I'm just kidding. I own everything.
So you appear back in xan'moxie, intending to hit the Fallcharges airship pad on your palatial estate, but I rolled really low. So instead, you appear in your vast garden in a storm of planar energy, destroying some topiary on entry.
It's fine. I can get a new gardener called Topiary.
You could have shaved off some bunny rabbit ears, but instead you murdered a garden.
You think I'm evil? At least I treat my workers with respect.
Oh, I forgot you were here.
Again, I'm a nice lady.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Anyway, I get out and I just carry on walking home.
Well, welcome to xan'moxie. This appears to be Cleo's gardens.
Yes, do not set up here.
I was about to ask.
Nope.
Well, it's fine. I need to go check on my daughters. I hope they're doing fine.
I'm sure you'll hear them before you see them. Bye.
We left them screaming. I'm not convinced they could do anything other than that, though.
I was serious about the collaboration, Tom. I think you and I could go into business together.
Well, let's talk about it. Got to set up the other three first. I mean, you would be able to supply mushrooms.
There is that nasty business with your trial. Good luck with that and all that.
Yeah.
Try not to think about it.
Not long now.
It's in a couple days, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sure we've got a very solid defense.
Yes. And there's nothing. It's boiling along like a watched pot.
Right, so it's not boiling then.
Oh, I got my idioms mixed up. Look over there. And I walk off.
And nobody looks. You just walk away.
I just
anyway.
point. Yeah, nobody sees me.
Well, good luck with that. I won't be there. Legal proceedings bore me unless they're televised.
Well, wouldn't that just be boring but on the telly?
Well, there's more drama. It's all about the editing.
Yeah. And the
Sometimes-
surprise appearances.
Sometimes the judge gets the villain edit.
Oh, yes. And you never know what wig they're going to wear.
It's always that white one, isn't it, with the curly bits?
Usually. I saw a grey hair once.
And then
that
there's
was-
always the wig reveals.
Just smaller lawyers underneath. It is a tiny courtroom on top of their head.
Yeah, in the xan'moxie universe, most of the study goes into the flourishing of like the different court tropes rather than actual law study.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
the
The outfits and
Every sentence is delivered with like a dramatic pointing and like outfit reveals.
Yes.
It's a 5-year degree to get your legal certification, and 3 of those are on pizzazz.
great.
Well, anyway, ta-ta now. Thanks for getting me out of there.
All right, we'll see you around.
Bye.
Bye. And she kind of just twists into the ground and just becomes a fungal network.
Oh,
And just, you can see her underneath the garden briefly rumbling and then just disappears.
You might want to get that sprayed.
I'll ask my gardener. Oh.
You see a small mushroom just sprout.
I accidentally stepped on it as I walk off.
There is no screaming.
that's good.
It's
But you
good.
don't know if it had a mouth or not.
Are you trying to sneak in veganism? Is this like a
Stealth vegan.
stealth vegan sneak attack?
Great, and you are back in xan'moxie.
Oh my God, we
Tom's
did it.
trial is in a couple days. You made
Oh
it
my
out of
God.
Repaira unscathed.
Should we
Cleo-
long rest?
I think you should. So the next couple days we can figure out what you're doing before the trial, and the rest of this episode will just be you preparing for the trial.
Sounds good.
But for now, why don't we cut to the break?
How will our heroes get out of this one? Find out after these messages.
Hello, Tammies. Welcome back to Tamura Talk, the only obcast with a 30-day return policy. I'm your host, Tamura, here as always with some fantasy advice for your fantasy life. Today's obcast is sponsored by a starving orphan from another city, where somehow worse off than he is. Joining me today are some special guests, my housemate Miriam, my niece Cleo, and my good friend Tom. Say hello!
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, on to today's question. Dear Tamura, I used to be a simple wizard. I'd go to my tower, do feats of magic, and come home. It was routine, but it worked. Even if I wanted to go somewhere else, I get lonely traveling alone. Recently, I summoned an incubus. It was by accident, and like at first, we were all like, ah, and he was like, ah. But when he was bound and unable to harm us, I found him to be a little endearing. He has told me so many stories, and part of me wants to set him free and run away with him. Is that bad? How do I know if I'm just being used as an escape route, or if this fiend is the friend that I've wanted all along? From Wally in Wizard Tower 5. Well, what a salacious question this week. What do we think?
Gosh, Wally, I would start off by saying, isn't every relationship a sort of escape route to somewhere, you know? I think the only way you're gonna know if that incubus is for real, a demon or a babe, is to give him a go.
I think that loneliness is a construct, and you absolutely could be an island. Give it up.
Interesting proposal. However, much like the poor dregs on society, succubuses also suck from other things. Just like wealth, I oppose this. I oppose things that drain my resources, both physically, financially, and emotionally, so I say dump.
So that's 2 no's and 1 yes so far.
Yes.
Well, personally, I am very supportive of love and endeavors in the dating world. However, I'm reticent to say follow your dreams, because sometimes you do that and things don't go well and everything comes crashing down and then you get stuck in xan'moxie.
But also take a chance on love.
And also, dreams end abruptly.
Very much so. I mean, sure, you could take a chance on love, but it could go poorly. This incubus could get out and kill people, or this person could realize that they didn't really want to run away with this incubus and everything's just not working out, but they can't go back to the tower because everything's gone and those children are still stuck in the desert. And what were we saying?
Whatever you want to do, Wally, go with your heart.
Yes. Unless that heart impulse is wrong, then do not.
I'd say go with your head.
So I think that's 3 no's and 1 yes.
Yes, and there seems to be some serious matters we have to discuss with Tamura after the podcast, but I'm sure you have what you need, Wally.
I hope that helped.
Yes, or not.
And that's all the time we have today. Remember, don't trash talk, Tamura talk.
And which desert did you leave those orphans in
Don't
exactly?
want to talk. They were students. But
Okay.
They
Right.
have any water or is it just...
Look, they're still trapped there. I could maybe get them.
Was it a cold desert? Because some people forget that snow can also be desert.
They could be dead as we speak.
Would they taste alright on a grilled cheese?
I mean, that might be their best fate.
I'm up for it.
Hey everyone, it's me, Peak, your Function Master, here with the final episode and mid-roll of the year. Get out of here, 2020. Sorry about the irregular post schedule, but hey, I warned you, it's been a pretty busy time. This is the second last episode of this season, which is honestly so crazy. The season finale is going to be all about Tom's trial, and oh boy, is that going to be a fun episode. Expect that episode sometime in early January, but again, no promises. We're all taking it easy and so should you. Just a quick plug for the Patreon. We're going to be revamping it for Season 3, and we don't know what that looks like yet, so if you'd like to get in on any of the current rewards, which may or may not still exist next year, like the Citizen Spotlight feature, or creating an NPC for the show, like Tamura or Madame Moosh, you should get on that. Just head to patreon.com/DNDQAU and take a look at our possibly limited edition tiers. Thanks as always to our existing Patreon supporters. You're the best. And to all our listeners, you're also the best. We hope you all have a wonderful holiday break and a much needed new year. But not before listening to the rest of the episode. So over the next couple days, as we return, we're just going to revisit what each of your characters have been doing since getting back from Repaira, although you're not quite sure what it's called now. After getting back to xan'moxie, you realize that the planar key to Repaira that you don't have it. It's with Lilia.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah. Well, if you did have it, it would be different.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not quite sure what Repaira is called anymore, but you don't have time to worry about that because you need to, Cleo, you need to figure out what your case is for Tom's case. So what have all you been getting up to?
Okay, so we had breakfast
Together.
We have a nap.
after the long rest.
Sure, yeah. So
We had a long rest in the gap,
Mm-hmm.
and then we woken up for breakfast.
Were you all together?
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine you all immediately after you came back from Repaira, you just collapsed into a long rest in Cleo's mansion.
Yeah.
I'm imagining, I don't know what the weather's like at all, but I'm imagining Tom finding a mat in front of a fireplace and doing that thing where he like circles 3 times before like
bless.
and then just perching. It's very adorable.
Oh,
Miriam would have gotten up just before dawn and returned the Escavian tea set and changed into some fresh clothes and showered. And then
Is
she'll
it
come
the
back
same
for breakfast.
outfit though?
Oh, it's identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's cut to that briefly.
Yeah.
You pop back into your apartment in downtown xan'moxie to see Tamura getting ready for her shift at Plain Jane's Interplanar Planner as you are holding the box.
Hey,
Oh, Miriam, good morning.
good morning.
Is that the tea set?
It certainly better be.
I'm glad to see you're back from the Bone Zone.
Yes. Well, and we also ended up in Repaira.
Oh,
Yeah, spicy. Guess who is now in charge of that plane?
don't say her name.
Yeah, you already know. So that's the situation.
That is, isn't she the Bone Zone's incarnate? Does that,
I'm not sure. You'll have to tell us if anything's changed with the Office Rift Jibe engine or something.
I mean, I got called into work this morning because there has been some kind of planar disturbance.
Well, don't mention my name.
Yeah, I'll feel it out.
Okay, great. It'll be good to know. I
Yeah.
should check in with work at some point as well.
Yeah, sometimes I get calls.
Wait. She puts down the tea set. Calls from who?
From park rangers.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes just checking where you are, and I say, oh, Miriam's on some kind of field trip.
Yeah.
Planar excursion.
That's it. Very good.
I got your back, don't worry.
Yeah, thank you. I should check those tumbleweeds, though. They don't
What
blow
do
themselves.
you do exactly?
I've
never seen you at work.
like
But
a-
go to work.
I'm like a park ranger. Like I go around and I check everything's where it's meant to be, and of course I stop goblin attacks when I'm there.
and it's a busy job.
Oh, there was a big goblin attack recently.
Oh, really?
Probably in the last couple of days when you were away.
Okay, well,
10
this-
dead, which is better than last time.
much better.
Oh, that was the first time you went with Repaira.
Oh, okay. You know what? Thank you for the heads up. I'm gonna have to circle back to this, but
Thank you for bringing this back to me, Miriam. You're a very good friend. And
Yo.
Thank you for letting me live in your house.
well, and you're welcome. I'm sorry about the previous guests.
It's fine. It happens.
We won't have any of them again.
Good.
All right. Well, have
If
a
I
good
see
day.
that lizard one more time. And she mutters something in Escavian, which is Elvish, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that all elves are from Escavia.
No, we wouldn't want that. I don't understand Elvish, so I don't know.
Oh, good. Oh, good. You didn't have to make me swear.
In Elvish.
I just say Gesundheit, and then I'll change it to clothes and I'll come
Great.
back. Yeah.
So, of course, Tom was napping by the fireplace back at Cleo's manor. You wake in a new morning. Did Cleo get up to anything before breakfast, or shall we all?
Are you not exhausted anymore?
No, because Madame Musha's
Oh, that's
healing.
right. She did.
Healed.
She did.
That's right. I keep forgetting she's done nice things.
She has.
She's a nice lady. So, yeah, Cleo, were you doing anything overnight while you were long resting? Otherwise, we can
No,
all
I
just.
think I was just having a nap.
All right,
But
well-
I sleep for less time.
Yeah, as an elf, you only need to sleep for 4 hours, and you can just transfer the rest. Or rather, you can only transfer. You only need to transfer 4 hours, and you can just rest. You can do light activity, which I guess could be brushing up on legal activity. So
Yeah, I was just in the library.
sure. If there's anything, okay, you can make one roll to investigate something. What would you be looking for?
I will be looking for the Book of Old Law.
Sure.
Sorry, I'll be looking in the Book of Old Law.
Is it ye oldie law? Like
but the Y is in.
Y-E and then OLDE and then LAWE.
But it's pronounced Yodi Law, but it's like that, but just spelled the way you wouldn't presume it. So it's just like oh. It's a very long title.
Great.
So the xan'moxie Tome of Law, which is something that we kind of established a long time ago in an episode, is a live updating book just new pages are just added as things happen.
Page book.
Huh?
Like page book.
Or like the ones
Page book?
where they've got the holes in them and you can just add more sheets of paper into your folder thing.
It's a craft book.
Well, it's entirely magical. It's just like an old
sure.
dusty tome, and it just gets bigger. At this point, it's huge. Obviously, it doesn't increase in like other dimensions. It's just more pages get added, and it just sizes up to accommodate them.
It's pH fat.
So each tome of law is a copy of the prime tome, which resides in the High Court of Flame, which is where legal proceedings are held in xan'moxie. So I imagine Cleo obviously has her copy of the xan'moxie Tome of Law.
I go back to the very first page.
So as you pour through the tome for ways to help Tom in his case, basically, I'm going to get you to make an intelligence check with proficiency. So you get to add your proficiency to it because you are proficient as a lawyer. And depending on your result, you will get to... We can workshop some laws that might be beneficial to you because we haven't really figured out what... I mean, I haven't written all of xan'moxie's laws.
You haven't?
What
have you been doing?
I've only written a few pages. And this way, because the way that the trial is going to the way the trial is going to work, a lot of it is going to be directed by you specifically as someone presenting a case to help Tom.
Cool. I got a 14.
Cool. So with a 14, I'll let you do two
laws.
Come up with two that could be
bylaws.
The vibe is like, because the crimes that Tom is being tried for is mostly just a lot of theft, trespassing, breaking and entering, and theft. There are lots of separate counts of that. Many counts. In addition, we have established that there are also laws about operating businesses in xan'moxie using ill-gotten goods, whether it's like a restaurant or like a factory or something.
Yep.
So with that, what do you think
laws.
could help you?
All right. So the first law I want to find is the case of yin versus yang. And in this case, yin and yang were neighbors, but the yin accused yang of stealing their garden gnomes.
I'm going to stop you right there. Can yin and yang be fish? Because
Yes,
AJ,
they are.
the person, used to have fish named yin and yang.
Oh, yes, I did.
And whenever we used to record this podcast back at AJ's old apartment, I would have to turn off the filter for, well, at this point, Yang had already died.
Yep.
And Ying was the only one left. And I would have to turn off the filter every time we recorded because it was too loud. And every time I hoped that Ying didn't die.
So this is in memoriam?
This is in memoriam. To
Dedicated
Yang.
to episode.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
my old goldfish. Okay, so yin and yang. The case of yin and yang. Yin versus yang. They were two fish who lived next door to each other.
In xan'moxie?
In xan'moxie. In a big lake.
Yeah, I mean the sunken harbour is probably
The
where
properties just continue to go on, like,
Yeah.
they don't just stop at the water's edge, they just continue to go down.
Yeah, the sunken harbour is filled with the ruins of old xan'moxie. So yeah, maybe there's some residential stuff down there.
Great.
So Ying accused Yang of stealing some of his spare picket fencing from his shed. And Yang accused Ying of stealing his mail. And this got taken to court. And the judge decided that because they were both being petty about things that were trivial and stolen, that they balanced each other out. And it was settled that they should just stop doing it and let bygones be bygones, because it was both insignificant and a waste of the court's time.
So what you're presenting to me as the yin yang defense.
If two grievances are equal enough, they balance each other out if both parties were equally as damaged.
So eye for an eye is
Yes.
fine.
It's not really
So if
yin
we
for
can
yang.
prove
No, it isn't yin for yang, but it's absurd and I kind of love it.
Okay, great.
Sure. I think I really like that as the first law.
Love that.
I need
Good.
to come up with I guess an obstacle for you in using that, because of course you could just come up with so many things for that.
Yep.
I think the limitation for this is that it can only be you could only use it for so much. So with this law alone, you wouldn't be able to absolve Tom of everything.
Cool. And Tom's crime was
Many counts of breaking and entering, theft, trespassing, and of course the separate one being operating a business using ill-gotten goods.
ill-gotten
A
goods.
legitimate xan'moxie business.
Okay. And then the second law that I would like to propose, and I have thought about a lot right now, so much thinking has gone on, is the case of what's the city of xan'moxie, the city of xan'moxie versus Cotton Bud. So in the city of
Did you look around and look at a cotton bud in the room?
No, this is my explanation of it.
Oh, it's going
so in the case of the city versus Cotton Bud, Cotton Bud was a thief, but very nimble and very very coordinated, and he was charged with breaking and entering. But because he technically hadn't broken anything, they couldn't trial him for breaking and entering because he got around the literal definition, so they could only charge him with entering.
And entry is not a crime.
And entry is not a crime.
Well, couldn't
Or
anyone-
entry in the circumstance of his court case specifically wasn't classed
No,
as a
I'm
crime.
just gonna take that and say that no, entry in xan'moxie is not a crime.
So like anyone could like enter your house at any moment.
yeah, but like
And you'd be like, well, that's the legal requirement.
but as a result, security is a lot tighter. Like there are things. Sometimes a door might just have like a wafer wedged between it, so that if you open the door, it will break the wafer.
I see.
I really
that.
like breaking. There has to be some kind of breaking.
a literal break.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
I like that. That's good actually.
In the
Yeah.
case of Cotton Bud,
A case of cotton bud.
Great, I love that. That I won't give you a. I guess I think the complication there for Tom's case is that there were many instances where things were definitely broken, but you can definitely finesse that to help your case. That's great.
There you go.
Okay,
Improvising legal system.
Well done.
There you go.
And like cotton bud's a great name for a thief.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
One of the greatest thieves
All
ever
time.
known.
It's a spin-off series of this. Cotton bud.
Yeah. It's a great name because, cotton buds are definitely bad for you in the long run, but you got to use them anyway.
Why cotton bud?
Because it was like soft and like harmless. They're little fluffy things.
Right.
Oh.
You know what
so
I mean?
it's like, they're harmless. They didn't do anything. They didn't
Yeah,
break
you could
anything.
throw a cotton bud at something and the chances that something would break would be very minimal.
Aw.
I like
Are they
that.
themselves just a very light thief?
I like to imagine they're a tiny little chameleon.
Oh.
A lizard person?
No, just a chameleon.
They don't exist. Officially?
Just a literal
A
chameleon.
chameleon. So they're a little lizard type thing that their belief system is based on karma.
I thought you meant a chameleon as in it was half lizard, half car.
Oh man. No, that's just a transformer.
Yeah.
Beast Wars.
Yes,
We're back.
that's me. That's what I was doing last
I love
night.
that. Meditative, like comic lizards.
Yeah, and maybe there's something in the case where he was stealing for a right reason. Or he was breaking and entering for but we don't know. We don't know.
Love that.
He's getting medicine for his sick mother.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Perfect. So yeah, it's the morning. Cleo has spent some time before Tom wakes up and Miriam arrives back at the manor. And you have these defenses. And where are you? What are you doing this morning? Are you just sitting around the breakfast table?
Yeah.
Sure. What are you eating?
Um,
Or rather, actually, what has Cleo served everyone else?
Yes, that's true.
I feel like Cleo wouldn't have prepared. Like Cleo wouldn't have asked people to prepare something for her guests. She would have just said what she wanted, and just like walked out the room. So, what did you guys ask my kitchen staff to make you?
What? Anything that they have prepared? What would Miriam ask for? She would ask for some tuna and mayonnaise sandwiches with lettuce, and a tall glass of water with some cucumbers in it.
I'm writing that down. This is all very important.
Yes, it feels
This is going to
important.
come into play later. What did Tom ask for?
Breakfast toasty.
When you take a bite into this toasty, you're not sure what's inside it. It just looks like a starry void. But biting into it encapsulates the entire feeling of breakfast somehow.
First meal of the day, that's what this tastes like.
The first meal of the day and the first meal of all days is in this toasty.
I love how like clearly that is a mind-blowing toasty, and Tom's like, yeah, whatever.
It's like it's a tuna and mayo sandwich for Tom.
I've made better. I once put 6 different types of cheeses on it.
And what did Cleo order?
Yeah, what did Cleo order?
I imagine her ordering like the most like extravagant feast, but then like not actually eating like effectively any of it. Just like taking a slice of toast out of it and just eating the toast, and then the rest of it just sit there.
Yes, Cleo ordered 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie, and then just had a scone.
Wait, are the birds alive in the pie currently?
I don't know how the poem goes, but I presumably believe they do. No, they are, because that's how the 4 and 20 blackbirds
Yeah.
baked in a pie.
This is a dark
when
poem.
the king.
Oh, is that what the
4
name
and
of the
20
brand comes? Anyway, we won't get
blackbirds
into that.
baked in a- Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? So they are alive.
Dark. You've murdered a guy.
But I had a scone.
Yeah,
so
no. So Cleo orders
much better.
a pie filled with 420 blackbirds, and then cuts it open, and they fly out, and then eats a scone.
it's just a show.
Much better.
Great. So is there anything? What are you doing today? So we can just abstract. By the end of this episode, the next episode will start, and it'll be Tom's trial.
Oh boy!
So we can just cut to anywhere you want to go. But if there's anything you want to discuss at this dining table, Moriel is right here. She just stumbles out of a doorway.
Is she drunk?
Even though she is her humanoid avatar is a floating golden eye on top of a impeccable pantsuit and can just teleport out of this manner. Muriel stumbles through a door that you didn't know you had here in your kitchen, and
I've been here for days. I heard your voices and I followed it. Where have you been? I know I could just teleport out of here, but, well, I thought I didn't want to waste that spell slot, you know? I thought
Sorry,
any
did you
second now.
say spell slut?
I said a more diegetic version of whatever spell slots mean in universe. Or maybe we just call them that. Who knows?
Who knows?
I've been here for days. Cleo, the case is very soon.
Yes. On that note, we are just about to have a meeting. Would you like to sit down and stop yelling, or leave and continue?
I'm using my indoor voice.
Oh, goodness. What is your outdoor? Don't.
Muriel takes a seat.
What about your small
What about your
garden shed
library voice?
Oh, yeah, that one.
I can do this.
Oh,
I like that.
okay.
That's
That's more
interesting.
palatable for my ears.
This is my deathly secret voice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, great. It's
I
gonna
use it only in times of great need.
Nope, this is a great need, this one.
Yes, the need for silence.
How is the case going, Cleo?
Very good. I found a couple of old laws in the tome that might be quite useful.
Anything I can help with?
Yes, you understand the what it did, that thing, the bracelet thing we had. I can't remember.
Afterpay.
After crime.
Of crime.
Yes.
Yes, the fantasy version.
Yes.
After crime, yes.
Yes.
The system where convicted xan'moxie felons can serve their sentence by doing acts of community service in xan'moxie.
Yes. So I just
I didn't know you were on after crime.
No, I wasn't on after crime. I was on after crime, as in like I was on thinking about it anyway.
We're post after crime.
Yes.
I don't judge. I just didn't know.
Well, you're not a judge. You're a lawyer. Anyway, if I may continue.
While you're saying that, you scoop out a remaining blackbird on a fork and then fling it into the air.
I will not be interrupted at my own dining table.
Well, now that I've gotten out of the air, I do need to run, so make it quick.
Basically, is there, of your recollection, an ability to do a lot of good to compensate a lot of bad in xan'moxie law?
I mean, there are precedents, yes, but, I mean, it's hard to equate the goodness of a deed versus a crime. Like, what is...
Alleged.
Allegedly. Although, at this point, Tom, come on.
No, innocent till proven guilty.
Well, and that's what we're trying to work on here, so let's be candid.
Innocent.
Yes, what is helping an old lady cross the road versus theft? That is always the tricky part when trying to use that defense.
You're right.
Yin-yang is a bit easier to do.
Ah, yes, that is one of the laws I read this morning. How convenient.
How convenient indeed. And what about witnesses?
Well, I believe they've been silenced.
Yes. You should do something about that.
Well, I can't bring back people from the dead.
Tom, you didn't do it?
I didn't do it.
No, Tom definitely didn't do it.
I was with this lot.
Well, like you said about it not being valid evidence in court anymore because it was leaked to the public. I verified that, then it is true. But, Tom, the Xan'guard are looking for you. You are the prime suspect.
Didn't do it.
Well, you should try and sort that out.
You raise an interesting point, Muriel. The media. What if good things are only viewed as good if the PR and the media portray it as so?
I mean, word of mouth is a good way to discern the inherent goodness of an act. Although you don't have much time to get Tom's PR going.
Tom, how many charitable and good things can you do in the next 48 hours?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're going to set you up with a series of nice things to do for people, then we will take photos and leak them to the press.
Okay, yes, that could be something.
I once got Miriam a cup of tea.
She did. It was bad, but I wouldn't say it out loud.
I mean, nothing would stop you from testifying.
That's true. I could definitely say some nice things about Tom.
There are nice things to be said.
Yes. No, but I meant now. We will go out and you will see an elderly castration trying to cross the road, and we will carry it and take a photo and leak it.
This sounds like something that would take a whole montage.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we cut away.
Yes.
In the days following the trial, we can still jump back and forth in time to go deal with other stuff. But up to the trial, roll a D100 for me, and that's how many xan'moxie citizens you manage to get evidence of Tom being a good person to.
Is that 65?
Yeah.
65.
Yeah.
Cool. That's 65 xan'moxie citizens. As you, this montage, you're just pushing Tom out of an alleyway to like talk to an elderly woman and then offer to have her cross the road and things of the like. It's you just giving flowers to people and just complimenting people on their hair. What else is going on in this montage?
Oh, there's a Tom's soup kitchen and toasty shack for orphaned kids.
So you're setting up this soup kitchen, this like toasty and soup stall with Tom in the Hopscotch district, of course, where all the orphans live.
Tom,
Yes.
you know this shack?
What do you mean?
Well, this small tiny shack we have set up with soup and toasties for orphans.
Yes.
Why have we set it up in front of a very big shop that says Tom's Toasties and Soup for Orphans?
I don't know what that would be. I couldn't tell you anything about that.
Look over there! It's Mr. Tom! As a flood of orphans come out and all crowd around you and give you a hug.
Good to see you all, but we're laying low at the just pretend you don't know who I am, all right?
Oh my God, you know this man! I point at Tom.
No, they don't.
Yes, we do. We love Mr. Tom.
Why? I mean, good, but why?
He feeds us all the time.
Yeah.
He fixed my broken horse. He gave me a new tooth.
No one ever. I didn't do that.
And then I think back to a moment in Repaira, or the new Repaira, where there was like a bowl of teeth. And I saw Tom fish out a couple and sneak them into his pocket. And I'm like,
oh my God, this is like the Impossible Girl from Doctor Who. Now we just go back into our memory and Tom's secretly done like really kind things that we just haven't
Specifically
noticed.
for orphans.
Specifically for orphans.
for orphans.
That's why you steal.
I don't think
Potentially.
I don't think it's the entire reason why Tom steals.
Sure,
but
yeah.
It's definitely part of it, and it's
It
very
adds to it.
adorable.
I like that.
Tom got me acquitted for murder.
I
did it, but he helped me.
So Cleo is just like her head is twitching and she's just really confused about what is going on.
Well, shh. The cat is out of the bag, it appears. I don't know if that's okay to say, but I said it.
It's offensive to my people, but it's fine.
Why didn't you tell us, Tom?
I don't want you to know that about me. I'm tough and I don't care about nothing. And it's a little bit embarrassing.
Nothing embarrassing about caring for people. That's very sweet.
No, it's a weakness. That's what I got brought up to know. It's a weakness. You never show any kindness to anyone because that makes you weak. That's what my father said before he kicked me out.
Just like these orphan kids, huh?
We were also all told this by our fathers.
Specifically, like, we went and found orphans that had the exact same story. And, like, turned people away if they had it, like, different.
Don't tell me that. I don't need to know.
A breeze brushes past the street and moves a tree branch over the sign of this soup kitchen. And it just says, Tom's Soup and Toasty Kitchen for orphans who have had traumatic father figures.
Only.
Wow. Well, you know what? You have shown the power of what it means to come together and support each other. And it's thanks to Tom that you had that opportunity. So that is some good. And some good for your case, perhaps.
We'll do anything to help Mr. Tom.
Smile. And I actually no, don't smile. No. No smile. And then I take a photo.
With our orbs? How do we photo?
Oh yeah, scrying orbs have camera apps. We've established this at some point.
Yeah.
But unlike every other app which is just on the device itself, I imagine the photo app on Cleo's scrying orb just like sprouts like a tripod leg and turns into one of those old Victorian cameras where it just like holds it up and it's like pff.
Nope, I'm gonna say that's all scrying orbs.
Okay, that's all scrying
That's
orbs.
the camera app.
That's the camera.
Great.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of the montage. So
Oh,
going back to
wow.
the montage.
Bit of character development there.
I look for the most adorable one.
Sure.
To keep?
No.
What's your name?
The most adorable one is a little pink grung, a frog person. She's wearing a pirate outfit.
She is?
She is, and she's got a little tambourine.
What's her name?
What's your name, little one?
My name's Nova.
Nova, you are the most adorable little thing. I think it would do my friend and your friend Tom a great service if you could come and speak about what he's done for you, Nova, at the trial.
Of course, anything for Mr. Tom. I was nearly cooked into a toasty by some other tabaxi dressed like Tom.
Some sort of copycat?
Oh no! Oh no!
I didn't even mean it.
Yeah, that's the one. But Mr. Tom here saved me.
Wow.
And then we got to talking, and I told Tom all about my terrible father, and he took me under my wing.
Yes, you all do seem to have terrible fathers. Well, that's wonderful news, Nova. Tell you what, we'll see you at the trial, then maybe we can do something nice after that.
Sure.
Do we have to involve them all? We have to let people. Can't we find another way around it? There's got to
Tom.
be a better defense than I'm a nice person.
That's literally the only defense we have.
Anything but I'm a nice person.
Can't we just go back to saying I never did it?
Well, you're about to be proven that you did do it.
Allegedly.
And then another branch moves away from the name of the shop, and it's Tom's toasty and soup kitchen for orphans with troublesome. What was it? With problematic father figures.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So with that, you've got pretty good fodder for Tom's case. So during this time, in the lead up, I think this discovery of the orphan soup kitchen probably happened like the day, like right before at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
But before that, you still had quite a few good deeds catalogued. During this time as well in xan'moxie, you notice that dead people have just come back. They've just been alive again.
Do we see like Margaret walk past?
Unfortunately, she is still dead, but her granddaughter is still a practicing doctor.
Dr. Mancleric, yes.
Dr. Mancleric the first is dead, but Dr. Mancleric the third, or the second, I forget which I said. But the first recorded case was just someone who just would have just been trampled by a rhino, and then he just got up 5 minutes later as if nothing had happened. His wounds had just repaired themselves.
Interesting.
During this time, one of the key witnesses in Tom's case against him also just got up, just spat out an ocean of water. All of the people who've come back to life have all been rounded up, and they're all being interviewed as to why. They're difficult to access, but you think that at least one of these witnesses will be able to testify against Tom. But even then, there are more that didn't die. At one point during this time, as you're walking around doing these good deeds, sirens blare overhead.
I was going to ask.
As Xanguard airships close in on the three of you, as Mathis grimly approaches the three of you, as airships surround this street, and he has a whole squad of Xan'guard with him. Tomcat, you're under arrest for the alleged murder of many people.
But I never did it.
They are all key witnesses in your case, and you're dripping with water, and Cleo tipped me off and gave me the... Oh, hey, Cleo. Hey, Miriam.
Hello.
Hey.
Wait, what?
You said murder.
Yeah.
You said you're on the hunt for Tom on accusations of murder.
Yeah.
Murder of one, and I look under. I look at I go through my notes. One. Arthur McJefferson is
What?
one. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that's alive, but the rest of them are still very dead.
Including. And I go to don't
Okay, at least two other people are still dead, but it's very clearly the key witnesses in your case. They were drowned. You're dripping with seawater. You're under arrest.
I do not think that's enough substantial evidence. There's a whole have you been to the sunken harbor? There are many creatures that live in the water. Are you saying anyone who is associated with water is a criminal?
Well, if it wasn't Tom, who was it?
Well, that is not the case for a legal premise to arrest someone, is it now, head of the Xan'guard?
Look, he's the prime suspect. We need to take him in for questioning.
Well, he'll be in the court in about... How many hours we got left?
That's an amount of time.
In an amount of time anyway. Why don't we call it quid pro quo and you just stop annoying me?
Fine.
I lean into Cleo. Didn't you come up with a legal defense that made this whole thing go away earlier?
Yes, but they can still technically follow up on the crime of murder, but
Okay.
Yeah, look, I may have done an oopsie and made this murder evidence invalid for Tom's trial that is upcoming, but we can still try him for murder.
Yes, if you didn't also leak it and make
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, but lovely to see you. We're just going to leave this orphanage. And I gesture upwards.
Well, if you find out who did do it, tell me. Because remember when we used to work together on crimes and stuff? I kind of miss that. I'm so lonely.
Okay.
You know, we don't have to have crimes to solve to hang out.
Oh, yes, we do. Goodbye.
I'm watching you, Tomcat.
Right, we'll put those binoculars away, officer.
And he's just standing in front of Tom. The binoculars are just the only thing in between him and Tom.
Yep, perfect.
Great.
And Martha Grimley gets back and these airships fly away. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
If we wanted to do something that would equalize things, wouldn't dubbing in the Sea Witch? I mean, I know you're in a deal with her, but could we get you out of service in that way?
Well, didn't I already get what I wanted? Oh, wait, no, but now I've got this.
You've been transported to the material plane.
She's already held up her end of the bargain. So if you don't win this case and open a restaurant with her, then you will invalidate your contract with her, and that will have consequences.
That's true.
There's no easy way out of anything, is there?
No.
What if we kill her? Oh, wait, no.
They have just... You didn't hear that, officer.
No.
What?
No.
We're already flying away.
Yeah, good.
Bye.
And I just get the crowd of orphans to cheer. Tom.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking we do something with the fact that she's obviously the villain. Maybe we could get her arrested and not realize that it was us that got her arrested.
So you mean trick her?
Yeah, right.
You mean entrapment?
Something like that. I don't know if we have the time. It's not much time to do. And we don't even know where she is, other than that she's trying to hunt down your witnesses.
No, but I've got this great disguise. This one pulls out those glasses.
Maybe we could trick her into appearing in court as a witness and get her to reveal that she was the one who murdered all those witnesses.
Well, I guess the thing is if I'm locked up, I can't actually help her, can I, with setting up the restaurant and whatnot, and that wouldn't really be my fault, so maybe that wouldn't invalidate the contract. And so we tell her that she needs to come and help, otherwise I can't open the restaurant for her.
Right, but she'll know about the legal case, right? She's
clearly on it.
So...
We double-crossed the witch. Look, we have a pretty interesting history with their entire family anyway. So what is another case of, one murdered, one left to sea, one left in prison? That it seems fitting. I like patterns and closure.
Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out how to get her there.
No, I think we could arrange that.
Yeah, okay.
And I kind of look at Tom, who's dripping with seawater, because she uses Tom as a vessel to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of have that knowledge in my head. I'm like,
Oh, you want to reverse engineer it?
Eat this lobster.
I like that.
That's great. Oh, whoa. We'll be going to this trial with a lot of ammo on Cleo's side, in Cleo's case, because we've come up with a lot of cool stuff that you can use to formulate a case, which we will resolve next episode.
Ding, ding.
As the morning of Tom's trial, the sun rises and you all get out of bed in that kind of musical song format where you're all about to the pre-climax. You're doing makeup in the mirror, and just reminiscing on past times.
Dun, 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 dun.
And you'll sing a couple lines that talk about your emotional journeys leading up to this point.
Oh yeah, true.
You sing the chorus together
Yes.
as the three of you head to the High Court of Flame in xan'moxie's Big Bucks district.
I didn't do it, but if I done it,
You'll never prove it in a court of law.
You guys, stop singing. We are in the court.
That was, of course, the courthouse cafe that is inside the courthouse that looks exactly like the courtroom.
Oh my god, yeah.
And you order from someone dressed
Everything
as a
in the
judge.
courthouse looks exactly like a court. If you go to the bathroom looks like a courtroom.
Great.
And you have to pee in the little stands.
And you walk out of a bathroom and grab your friends from the courthouse cafe and walk towards the courtroom.
Ding ding.
And the toilet cubicles have guilty or innocent on the switch, the lock switch.
I'm loving these riffs, but I'm trying to end the episode.
Okay, sorry.
And the toilet paper is the wig roll.
Yeah. Okay, and finish.
Wasn't that a thrilling conclusion? Join us next time for another riveting installment of Dungeons and Drag Quiz! Dungeons and Drag Quiz is a production of Cleo and the Queens. For more information, head to thequeens.com.au. That's the kwqueens.com.au. The City of xan'moxie is written and run by the DM up in your DMs, Pete Distapan. The sultry voice of Cleo Fallcharges was none other than AJ Lamarck. Ranger Park Ranger Miriam Gargoyles was, of course, Jack Gorman. The terrific tones of Tomcat provided courtesy of Candace Gallimore. Titles, credits, and additional writing performed by the disembodied voice of Ryan James Pearson. And a special thanks to Danny Johnstone of D Johnstone Music for the D&DQ theme song. Follow D&DQ AU on Twitter and Facebook to stay up to date with the latest D&DQ news. That's all for now. Until next time, the City of xan'moxie bids you adieu.